sugars like the plague, and refined sugars especially. No high fructose corn syrup for me. Only drinking, soda with stevia in it. No overconsumption of fruit. No eating breads, because that's sugar too. And just being completely mindful of what I eat, how I eat it, when I eat it. Again, elimination, it's about understanding that there are just some things that really are not good for your individual makeup. And you have to find out what that is. If you are someone allergic to nuts, allergic to fruits, and so on and so on, you have to live within the parameters of your own problems. Always remember that. My problems are not your problems, and while these methods can be universal, you must always really check to see if you're fit for them. So the third method, and this is besides sleep, it's really my favorite thing, and that is exposure to extremes. Exposure to extremes. So I'm gonna be calling you out, people. If you're gonna be, and I say this with love and completely joking also, if you're gonna be a little bitch and you're not gonna go in the sauna or the steam room or take a cold shower, then you gotta buck up, buddy. You gotta figure out that there is a lion inside of you looking to take a cold shower. That there is a force within you waiting to just sit in a hot box of a room for 20 minutes at a really high temperature. Excuse me. So I discovered early on in my life that I really enjoy exposing myself to heat. And not so much cold, but that I figured out later. So in ancient India, they called these practices ascetic practices, where people would expose themselves to crazy things and see if they can achieve some new state of being. Now, what I discovered was that I really felt awesome after going in the steam room and sauna at the gym. And I started doing this practice when I was about 18 years old at the gym that I was attending, and was really lucky that the gym that I had those amenities. And throughout college, I went to a gym that also had it, and was really fruitful to be able to expose myself to these things, because I truly believe that as I got older, my health really started to shift. So again, I used to get sick 6 to 8 weeks, every 4 to 6 to 8 weeks, getting sick 8 to 9 times a year. As I got older, when I reached that point at 18, I realized, wow, I don't need medicine anymore. Then as my years progressed, I started realizing, wow, I'm getting sick 5 times a year. I'm getting sick 3 times a year. And what I realized was that this exposure therapy, so to speak, this exposure to extremes, was what was helping push my sleep and my elimination lifestyle to another level. Now, Dr. Rhonda Patrick points us to a few studies that came out of the Scandinavian countries, where they're exposing people to temperatures of 170 degrees or higher for 20 minutes, and they're finding human growth hormone increases, repair of muscle tissue increases, and what do you know? That if you go 4 to 5 times a week and you do this religiously, you can reduce, and I mean reduce, upwards of 40% or more, all natural reasons you can die. They call it all-cause mortality, all reasons you could naturally die, and you reduce that. Again, let me highlight, underline, bold here, 40%. That is a game changer. Nothing will stop me from going in those rooms. And I will bitch and I will moan if those rooms are not working, because I care about living a long damn time. Though I may not know when my body will be checked out for me, and that when my health collapses completely, but I will do everything in my power to get into those rooms and to get hot, baby. Hot yoga also is a great substitute for saunas if you have access to that. And on the other side of it is cold exposure. Now, a gentleman named Wim Hof and his method, the Wim Hof method, includes cold exposure and cold therapy, cold treatments. And basically what you do is you take a cold shower every day and you expose yourself to the cold water at the beach. You make sure to dunk your head, you make sure that you're doing the breathing technique that accompanies it. And what he's shown in clinical trials is that you can increase your immune function by doing this. You can increase your happiness chemicals. You can increase all the things that make you stronger and more resilient. And sign me up, man. I'm down for that. So when I started integrating the Wim Hof method, that's when I took my health from getting sick 5 to 3 times down from 3 to 0. And it was learning this exposure to extremes, especially taking that cold shower every day. And yes, it's hard. And what I would recommend is just take your hot shower, and when you're ready for that last, start with 10 seconds, pump it to the cold, stand under there for 10 seconds with your head under the water, call it a day. Next week, go up to 15, and so on until you're taking half the shower in cold. I take 90% of my showers in cold water. I just save the hot for the end now. I've reversed it, so I'll do hot for a couple of minutes where I get to enjoy it, warm up, and wash my face with some hot water. And this was just such a game changer for me. Again, I can't thank Wim Hof enough. If you've never checked out his method, if you've never learned it, do yourself a favor, invest in yourself, go get that program, go learn about the breathing technique, go learn about the awesome cold shower treatment, and start taking ice baths. Man, I can't say enough how much of a game changer it is. And when you learn to buck up, when you learn to toughen up and face the cold, it is such a next level experience. I would even, when it snows, I'm here in the Northeast, and when it snows, I'll go outside in just shorts, and I'll stand out there for 10 minutes in the snow, and then I will shovel in shorts. It's dope. So the next method is fasting. It's fasting. And fasting is something that we've only now resurfaced, and it's funny because when you look at animals who are suffering, what is one of the things that animals stop doing? They stop eating. And you'd think that if something was going wrong in your life, whether you're having immune problems and, you're looking for that next level, you need to expose yourself to extreme temperatures, go to the sauna, go take cold showers. But the next thing that you can consider is fasting. Consider fasting or fasting mimicking diets where you're basically just drinking water. You're just telling yourself, I'm going to go without food for an extended period of time. Now, I have a video series coming up where I'm going to actually do a fast where I'll go at least 2 to 3 days without food. I've gone 24 hours without food, and let me tell you, you feel your organs shrinking inside of you. Now, what's happening during a fast is your organs are actually replacing themselves, and the bacteria in your gut are actually turning over, so that bad bacteria are dying and new bacteria are coming in place of them. You're also entering a state known as ketosis from fasting, and that's where your body is converting over to a new energy system. I'm not going to get too deep into the whole fasting and ketosis thing, but understand that your body is no longer using sugars as a normal source of fuel. It's using these fats, these fatty acids known as ketone bodies. So the thing about fasting, if you're someone suffering from immune problems, think about this. Elimination is hard. You know that you don't want to give up eating certain things, and you want to continue to eat Jolly Ranchers and sourdough bread and your Hershey Kisses and your Butterfinger and your Snickers. Ugh, so hard.